I am from Mali, West Africa. I was born and raised in Mali, and I moved to the United States when I was 15 years old because I've gotten a scholarship to come to high school here and play basketball. It was a goal of mine since I was very young when I started playing basketball. I wanted to make it to the United States so I could play basketball, go to school, and help my family and help my national team win championships, which was one of my goals too. I wanted to win FIBA Africa, which I did twice. So when I first got here at 15, I didn't speak English at all. I didn't know anyone. The person who picked me up from the airport, I hadn't ever seen him before. So it was a challenge for me, leaving my family, my friends, everyone I've ever known at home, and come here. But it was a good one because obviously when you have a dream and that dream pretty much started to evolve and you see that it might be a reality, it's challenging, but at the same time, it's exciting. So when I first got here, not speaking English at all, my host parents helped me. They pretty much found this website called like Residence Town, I believe. And I learned English through that and pretty much would have homework all day long, just laying in the house learning English and stuff like that. So it took me about a year and a half to understand what people are saying and be able to at least say, oh, okay, like I get what you're saying, but I probably won't be able to respond. But I actually like I understand what you're saying. So it was quite a challenge because the cultures are different. The way people speak here, the way people carry themselves, the way people play basketball, the way people go to school, everything is different. So me coming here and like having to learn all of that, and usually people don't really understand that, you know, it's a challenge for me even to have a conversation with them because sometimes like when I speak with people, they tend to think like, oh, like she's coming with an attitude or like she's being sassy or like she's pretty much doing something else than what it is that I'm actually trying to do. That like it's not my intent to pretty much get on the wrong side of people, but it tends to happen because of the way I speak, the way I carry myself, my culture, and the fact that like I pretty much maybe don't know as much English as they do. I overcame that by pretty much just sitting back and listen to what people have to say. You know, anytime like I speak to someone and they're like, "Ooh, like you're being aggressive," I pretty much took it and it was like, okay, maybe they're trying to tell me something here, and if I learn that like along the way, I'll be okay. But as for right now, I can't take it the wrong way. So I pretty much took it and sit back and was like, okay, you know, I pretty much need to change the way I see things. You know, this is not home anymore. You know, it's a different country, it's a different culture. So I have to adapt and live, but live their way if I'm going to get along with people. I pretty much had a lot of nights where I cried and pretty much was so hurt because it was like so much, it was a lot. But it never came to the point where I was like, I want to go home because I had a goal, I had a dream. And in my country, girls don't often get the opportunity I've gotten. Obviously, I work for it and like, you know, I believed in myself, but this opportunity is once in a lifetime. And the goal I wanted to achieve, the fact that I wanted to help my family, the fact that I wanted to inspire those little kids and boys at home kept me going. Although, you know, I had my moments where I broke down, where I was like, you know what, I can't do this anymore. It was never like, okay, let's backtrack and go back home. Because in my mind, it's always been like, if I can do it, I'm gonna be able to inspire someone else to do the same thing I'm doing pretty much. It's like, if Rokia can do it, then I can do it. So I had to stay focused. I had to stay focused and I had to pretty much make sure that it's something that's gonna prepare me for, you know, any other challenges that I have coming my way. My parents didn't want me to play basketball. They didn't want me to play basketball. I had to pretty much hide and pretty much lie to them to be able to play basketball because I loved the game so much and I saw it as my way out of Africa and I saw it as my way of being able to help them out of like the poverty that we were in. We were very poor growing up, and being the firstborn in Africa is a lot of responsibilities. Whether you are a boy or a girl, pretty much everyone looks up to you. So having like 3 siblings now, I felt like I needed to do right. I felt like I needed to set the example and make sure that I do the right thing for them to follow in my footsteps if that's what they choose to do. It's been an honor being on the national team since I was 15 years old. And it's not necessarily making it to the national team that made me feel like at a certain point that, okay, like I've achieved my goal. It's the fact that I was able to put a roof over my family's head. I was able to make sure that my siblings went to a better school than I did. I was able to help my parents out of that poverty. I never really thought about it until I had a conversation with my mom where she was like, oh, you used to say this when you were young. You used to say that you were gonna have a house, like you're gonna buy a house, you're gonna do this, you're gonna do that. And like, you've actually done it. And that's been my goal since I was a kid too, but I wasn't able to do it, but you did it. So after like that conversation, I sat back and realized, I was like, wow. After like everything I went through, coming to the United States, playing for the national team, my goal actually, like I've achieved my goal. I've been able to do that. And it was a great feeling. So I want every little boy and little girls at home to pretty much have the same feeling because it's a great feeling. It's important to me to be a role model for the kids because growing up, I've had to mature very quickly than a lot of kids my age. That's just because of like my parents weren't rich at all. I see a lot of kids just like me. I see a lot of boys just trying to make it just like me. I'm not saying that I made it, but to this level, it's like to them, I made it. So seeing a lot of kids like that, just working hard every day, I would just want to be able to give them that chance to pretty much show them that it's possible. Like you just pretty much need to believe in yourself. You pretty much need to work harder and believe in yourself and know that like at some point you're gonna be okay. Whether it is that you make it to the United States or not, through basketball or like through school, you're gonna be just fine.